Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire washer inner door panel kit. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new inner door panel and hinge. The inner door panel is mounted on the inside of the washer door. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if it's cracked or damaged. Before we take the door off, we're going to put a towel on the top of the washer so we can set the door up here once we have it off. Once you have the towel on the top of the washer, we can open up the washer door so we can take it off. Now that we have the door open, we're going to use a number 2 square drive to take out the screws that hold on the hinge. As you're taking the upper screw out, you want to make sure you hold onto the door so you don't drop it. Once you have both screws up, you can carefully set the door up on the top of the washer so we can take it apart. In order to get the hinge off, we have to take off the door boot seal so we can get behind the front panel. There's a spring down at 6 o'clock. We're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to carefully get behind it. Once you have the spring out, you can just carefully pull the clamp off the door boot seal. Once you have it all the way off, you can set it aside. Once you have the clamp off, we're going to take the door boot seal off on this side so we can reach in and grab the hinge. Once you have the seal out of the way, use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws. Once you have both screws out, you want to carefully feed the hinge through the opening. Then you can pull it out of the washer. To get the inner door panel off, we have to remove 4 screws. We're going to use the Phillips screwdriver to take them all out. We're going to take off the strike first. Once you have the screws out, you can lift the strike off and set it aside. And then we can remove the screw at 12 and 6 o'clock. Once you have both screws out, we're going to split the door in two. So we're going to lift it up and we're going to start on the strike end. We're just going to take a flathead screwdriver and get in between the two panels and carefully pry them apart. Once you have it split, you can just follow it around and split the whole door. As you're going around, I don't know if ours is an older model, but they glued the inner and the outer doors together on the hinge side. So the 2 posts where the screws go into the inner door, we have to cut those off from the outer door. So we're going to split this apart and then carefully cut those 2 posts. If yours is the type that's glued together, we have to turn it and then we have to use a hacksaw blade to get in between the 2 halves and cut these plastic posts that hold the 2 halves together. Once you have them cut, you can pull the blade out, then we can separate the 2 halves. Then you can set the outer door aside. Then we can take the inner door off of the glass. In order to get the inner door panel off of the glass, we're just going to use a small flathead screwdriver to release these tabs. We're going to start at this one at the top first. All you have to do is flex them and then get them to go down on the back side of the glass. Once you have a few of the locking tabs released, the inner door panel should drop off the glass, and then you can separate the 2 pieces. Here's the old inner door panel next to the new inner door panel kit. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Before we put the door back together, if you have the type that was glued on like ours and you had to cut off the posts right here, you want to take some sandpaper and smooth out what's left. Otherwise the new inner door panel won't sit in there properly. Once you have it smoothed out, you can put the door back together. To put the inner door panel and the glass together, we're just going to set the inner door panel down, then set the glass in. You want to make sure that the tabs on the glass are lined up with the correct spots on the inner door. Once you have it lined up, you can lift the inner door into place and just lift up on it so it snaps onto the glass. Once you have it snapped in place, we're going to grab the outer door, just kind of set it down onto it, and carefully turn it over. Once you have it flipped over, you can line up the screw holes. Once you have it lined up, you can just snap the two halves back together. Once you have it snapped together, you can set it down and use the Phillips screwdriver to put all the screws in. Once you have those two screws in, we can put the strike back in and then use the Phillips screwdriver to put those screws in. Now we can put the new hinge into the washer. To put the new hinge in, we're just going to pull the door boot out of the way and put the hinge into position. You want to make sure that the hinge arm comes out the opening in the front panel. Then you can line up the holes, and we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have both screws tightened down, we can put the door boot seal back on. To put the seal on, we have to make sure that this lip right here goes into the channel around the whole door. So we're just going to carefully work that into place. It may not have come off the whole door, so just go around and double check and make sure it's on the whole way. Once you have it on the lip, we can put the clamp back on. To put the clamp on, we're just going to put the spring down here at 6 o'clock and then slowly work one side up around into the groove. Once you have it as far as you can get it, we're going to take a locking pliers and grab the clamp right here. You just want to grab it and you want to pull towards the side of the machine. If you pull towards the front of the machine, you're just going to pull the clamp right out of the lip. So just pull to the side, stretch it out enough so the clamp goes around. Once you have it in place, you can let go of the locking pliers and make sure it's seated properly all the way around. Once you have it in place, we can put the door back on the washer. To put the door back on, we're just going to carefully lift it off the top and line it up with the hinge. Once you have it lined up, we can use the number 2 square drive to put the screws back in. Before you tighten the first one down all the way, you want to start putting the second one in. You may have to move the door around to get the hole to line up. Once you have the lower screw tightened down, we can tighten the top one down the rest of the way. Now the way the door mounted, we can close it, take the towel off the washer, plug it back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.